What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Loop It In, the DoorLoop podcast, where we pick the brains of experts in property management, real estate, and investing. Tech, we cover it. Marketing, that too. So whether you want actionable tips or the insider scoop from top performers in their industries, this is one show you won't want to miss. Be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on any future episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast. Today, I'm joined with Sydney McGee, and she is actually our social media manager here at DoorLoop and video content creator as well. Now, she's got a ton of experience in all things social media. She actually runs her own YouTube channel as well, and I'm very excited to have her on the podcast today and learn from her as well. So, welcome, Sydney.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Awesome. So, I gave you a small introduction there, but maybe you could tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so I started social media whenever I was about 14 years old. I just started posting every day on YouTube and then also on other social medias as well, and really found love for it. Obviously, my generation loves social media, but the more I got into it, I started to grow my platform and it became my full-time job. And then just 6 months ago, I joined the DoorLoop team to help out with their social media, and I've been loving it because it's combined two of my favorite things, which is real estate industry and social media. I kind of grew up in the real estate industry. My dad is a realtor, a broker. He owns 2 commercial properties. And then I have 2 cousins who are realtors, and I have 3 brothers who are realtors. So it's in my family, and I also own a house. So it's just awesome to be able to combine the two.
That's amazing. So what was it like whenever you were getting your first house just like that? Obviously you have a lot of people that you can get advice from, especially in your close family. But what was that process like?
Yeah, so I was actually kind of hands off for me because my dad was like, you're going to own a house, and just did everything for me. Obviously, I had to have the funds, but my dad helped me throughout the entire process. And originally, it was my house that I lived in, but then I decided that I didn't want to live in my hometown anymore, so I decided to rent it out. And my brother kind of taught me how to do that, how to be a property manager, and so now it's a rental property.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, and then what about for social media? What's that been like, joining DoorLoop, sort of combining those 2 different skills that you have, which is all your experience in real estate and in social media?
Yeah.
What's that been like?
It's been really awesome because I have a huge passion for social media. I love being on camera, and I just love that energy of being on camera, right? And then being able to add in the property management and real estate industry, and to be able to combine those 2 things has been really fun, to be able to give tips to other people and to also learn a lot more about the industry, because DoorLoop has so many resources like this podcast or the webinars, the blog posts, the YouTube channel to be able to learn from. So it's cool because I'm learning and helping out in the social media realm at the same time.
Awesome. So everyone sees what goes on, in front of the camera. They see that you go on camera, you read your scripts and do all that stuff. But what about behind the scenes? What are the basics that someone needs to learn that maybe are not so obvious?
Well, you kind of have to figure out what social media platforms you need to be on and what exactly it means to post on those, because not every social media is made the same. Each platform kind of has a different way to grow, different ways to post. So just kind of navigating which ones are going to be successful for you and your demographic, and then once you figure that out, figuring out what to post on that platform.
Interesting. Well, how would you go about knowing which platform that you should be posting on most? Or if there are some that you should just avoid altogether?
Yeah, okay. So the main ones that you really want to be posting on are going to be Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. That's probably the basics. There are a couple other ones, and YouTube, obviously. There are some other ones like Pinterest that you don't necessarily need to be posting on unless you have a niche for that, but property managers don't really need to be on Pinterest unless you want to. But sticking to kind of just those main platforms that are really big right now will definitely benefit you.
All right. And then let's say for property managers, let's take that as an example.
Yeah.
If they could only choose, for example, one or 2 social media platforms to post on, because you only have so much time in the day.
Right.
Which ones do you think would be good for them to focus on?
So as a property manager, I would definitely be on Facebook. Not only on Facebook can you just post statuses, you can also use Facebook Marketplace, which actually has a way for you to upload ads to your properties on it. So not only can you do that, but then you can repost that to Facebook. You can join groups. There's business pages. There are so many things that you can do with Facebook to be able to connect with people who are local, to find tenants, or to connect with other people who are landlords or property managers as well. And then the second most important one, I would say right now, is probably Instagram. TikTok is really popular, but it is a little bit more of the younger generation. So kind of repurposing your content that you would use on Facebook and put it on Instagram Reels and on your Instagram story. And Facebook owns Instagram. So it's just kind of like a 2-for-1, and you can actually connect those platforms to post simultaneously. And so you don't actually have to be doing both. You just post on one and then it'll post on both for you, which is really cool.
All right, so dancing on TikTok is not a priority.
It's not a priority to dance on TikTok, no. It could be fun, though. It could be a way to, like, reach a different demographic, and it can be fun. But, you know, if you really are tight on a schedule, you don't have to. But something else we could talk about, whether now or later in the podcast, is there are tools to help you post on all of them at once. So, for instance, I use one called Metricool. There's also one called, I think it's called Plan That. And basically, you just connect your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, however many platforms you have. You write out a post, and you can post it to all of them and schedule what time it'll post, the caption, all of that stuff. So it's really cool.
Wow, so you can actually reuse the same content that you made and post it on different platforms?
Yeah, obviously it depends on the type of content, because let's say it's like a reel. An Instagram reel can be posted to Shorts. It can be posted to Facebook Reels. And those are like the short, vertical, 15 seconds to 60-second long videos. So that's Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and then Facebook actually has Reels on Facebook as well. So that's one that you can repurpose for 4 platforms. And then let's say you have like a picture that you took with, whether it's your property or just of you or something you're doing, you can post a picture to pretty much every platform except TikTok. So you'd be able to post that on everything simultaneously. So that's really cool.
All right, cool. So if we go back to Facebook, because I know you said that was probably one of the most important ones for a property manager.
Yeah.
So what's the goal? What are they trying to achieve? Are they trying to get a lot of likes, a lot of followers on their page?
Yeah.
Or what's the strategy there?
So it really depends, and this is where you can kind of pick how you want to be posting, because there's different strategies you can take. If you want to like build a platform and kind of be like a mini influencer, you can do that, and you can post like tips and tricks, just anything like that would help other property managers or landlords. Or you can just take the route of you want to reach people who can fill your units and become tenants. In that case, you'll just want to be posting stuff like maybe deals that are going on, or new properties that are new units that are vacant that tenants can move into right now, or post pictures of the property and how pretty it looks and convince people to come. Or you can use the platform as a way to connect and learn from other property managers, like joining business pages or posting questions on there for other property managers.
Right, okay. So I guess there's a lot of different avenues that you could take.
Yeah, right? Definitely.
All right, so starting out, let's say I made a page, I'm a property manager.
Okay.
And I post something, no one's going to see it, right? Because I don't have any followers yet.
Right.
It's a brand new page.
Right.
So how do I go about getting those followers? Do I need to pay for ads? Do I need to join a bunch of groups?
So the first thing you want to do, especially if you're just like, you've never really been on Facebook, you just made this, is starting with hashtags and following other people and joining groups. So on Facebook, you can use hashtags, and there's a lot of different hashtag strategies, but something you'll want to focus on is doing a couple of like broad hashtags. So like hashtag property manager, hashtag property manager needs help, or property manager tips. And then you'll want to go into those more local ones. So like, for instance, DoorLoop is based in Miami. So you'd want to put like property managers in Miami. To be able to attract people, because that's what gets on people's feeds. And then the other route would be on Facebook to be joining pages and groups that you can be posting in, like, hey, I need help, or follow me for tips, or whatever, to be able to get your name out there.
All right. And then how much time would you want to be spending on that each and every single day, do you think?
It really just depends on how much of a priority it is for you and kind of what your goal is. Because obviously, if your goal is to build a platform, that's going to take a lot of time and energy. Obviously, you can repurpose content, but anytime you're trying to really build a following, it's going to take a lot more time. But if you're just trying to, connect with other property managers and advertise your units, you don't really need to spend that much time. And that's like, it's hard to just say like, oh, this many minutes or this many hours, because it's really on your schedule. But something I would suggest if you are more on like a time crunch would be to batch make content like one day. So get all your pictures together, put it on your, either on Facebook or use like Metricool or something like I talked about, where you can post to everything all at once and just get it all scheduled out, ready to go. So then all you have to do is spend a little bit of time once a week, and then everything's ready to go.
Right. So you could record all the content in one day.
Yeah.
And then schedule that out so people just think you're posting all the time.
Exactly.
Right?
But really it
And
was one day for you. Yeah.
Wow. Maybe like if you're on camera, you change the shirt a few different times.
Exactly.
So it looks like different days.
Yeah. Or if you have an event, like you can make it seem like the event is happening right now, even though it was last week, but you didn't have time to post about it, because you can kind of schedule things out like that, you know?
Very cool.
Yeah.
So if your goal as a property manager who made like a Facebook page or Instagram page, if your goal is to fill these vacant units that you might have, are there advantages to being on social media compared to just posting on listing websites like Zillow or apartments.com?
Yeah.
Is that going to help you fill units faster?
I would definitely say yes. It's definitely going to help fill units faster, and it's also going to help build like brand awareness and make people want to choose your property over maybe some other properties that are local, especially with like the younger generations coming in, like millennials and Gen Z are checking like, does this apartment building have a Facebook page, and like what are they posting? Does it look clean? What kind of people are living there? And that kind of stuff.
Right.
So especially as this younger generation's coming in, I think it is getting more and more important. But as far as Facebook, you know, you can use Facebook Marketplace to actually post your unit on there. I think a lot of people are actually on Facebook looking at the rental section. So I think it's really important to, at the bare minimum, be doing that. It's basically just like another listing site. You can use it just like you would like Zillow or apartments.com, but it's actually on Facebook Marketplace, which is really cool. And then you could repost that onto your business page or your personal page, whatever you're reposting it onto. And then it can reach an even larger audience, because maybe someone's scrolling through their Facebook feed and they're like, oh, this cool apartment has a new unit or whatever. And then they send it to their friend who's looking for an apartment. And it's just like a cool way to like get the word out there.
Right. So like you could actually find people that they're not actively searching on a listing website.
Right.
But maybe they are looking for something, or they know someone who might be looking for something, and they can stumble upon it.
Yeah, because like
actively searching.
Yeah, if we're being honest, no one's getting on Zillow and like sharing that with their friend, like, hey, look, new cool unit open. But if you're on Facebook and you see like, oh, actually I have a friend who's looking for an apartment and this one looks like the perfect one for them, people are a little bit more inclined to like send that to a friend rather than like a Zillow post.
Right. Just the click of a button, you can just send it to someone.
Exactly.
Super easily.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And then I know that like on Facebook, organic reach is not as high as it used to be, maybe, you know, a couple years back. Is it important to boost posts out to people, and should you be doing that for every vacancy that you have?
I mean, it just depends, I guess. Like, if you really aren't seeing results and you're really not reaching who you want to reach with social media, it's definitely an option. And like, I feel like the best advice that I can give in this scenario is to just try it. Like, you can always try it once or twice, and if you see no results, then don't waste your time and money. But if you see results, like, you always want to double down on what's working. So for you, if like just posting on Facebook Marketplace works really well, then double down on that and just do it. But if boosting like fun little stuff about an event that happened at your property works, then double down on that. So just kind of with social media, it is weird because there are strategies that work, like using keywords and using hashtags. But sometimes you'll kind of, it's almost luck. It's like, oh, this one strategy that I did worked really well for me, so I'm going to double down on that one thing.
Right. You never know how the algorithm is working, like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You just got to keep trying it. And I think that's good advice, because a lot of times, you know, people say, oh, should I do this or should I not do it? And they keep debating it in their heads.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you know, just try it out.
Just try
and see if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no harm in just like giving it a shot.
You'll spend what, like you could spend a couple $, something like that, and just see what happens.
You could boost it with like $5 and just see what happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And then also on these social media websites, you know, you got Facebook and Instagram. They also have like a live stream feature. And what I know about the live stream is that usually when someone goes live, that goes at like the top of the page, right? People get alerted to that right away. Is that a good method to use as well? Like going live at certain times?
Yeah, I'd say once again, try everything at least once. I mean, I would say even try it more than once because sometimes it's just like a one-off thing and it was weird. But if you try it, a handful of times, see how the results are. I think going live would be a really cool option for property managers if you're doing like maybe a tour of like open units and you go live and then you can take that live stream and like repost it afterwards. Or if you have like an event at your property or something like that, I think those would be really cool opportunities to be able to use the live feature.
100%. Yeah. All right. And then going back to Facebook Marketplace, let's see, how would you want to go about posting on there? Like, do you want to, because I know that you mentioned before that, especially the younger generation, they'll go and check out the Facebook page and see, maybe they're looking at the lifestyle around the property as well. They want to see if people are happy there. They're maybe not just looking at the price or the size of the unit. So what would your advice be to the approach like that whenever you're actually posting the listing on the site?
So it's just going to be like any other site. So you're kind of going to want to post the same things that you would if it's like apartments.com or Zillow or whatever. Yeah. You want to have that good, enticing description. And I'd say the most important thing is photos, like good pictures. I know you did a webinar kind of touching on photography and stuff like that.
Yep.
So refer back to that. But like you want to have really good photos.
People are watching that one.
Yeah, they need it. Because if you can combine that, like the photography mixed with the social media, like it's just like a really good combination. Because people love good photos. So having lots of good photos. And then I would say another good idea would be whenever you post that in the marketplace to use like a business page so that they can click on the listing and then they can see who posted, go to your profile, and there they can see maybe more community pictures or like what the property managers who actually work there look like and get more of like a homey feeling than like a listing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Then I know you said that Facebook owns Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a lot of the same content you can post on there.
Yep.
Is there a way to put your listings on there, or like what would the strategy be there? Would you have a link to your website and your bio or something like that?
Yeah. So on Instagram, you can't actually, it's not like a marketplace. You can't post your listing, but you can put a link in the bio. You can even do like a little link tree in the bio. So it's like all the open listings or your Facebook page or whatever you want to put on there, your website. You can put that in the bio. You can also post on your story, and you can post on Facebook and Instagram stories simultaneously if you connect to your account. So there you can post, links to new units that are open, just really anything that you want, and those stories will stay up for about 24 hours.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to ask next. We talked a lot about the permanent posts that you can put up. You can put reels, you can put pictures on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page. But what about stories? Like, what are your tips for stories? Are they just like pictures of your units, or what would you do there?
Yeah, so stories, like I said, they'll go away after 24 hours. You can put them into like a highlights thing on Instagram if you want them to stay on your page. But I think that's just a great opportunity to just throw anything out there. Like it's only up for 24 hours. So we're talking, you can put links with, you can put links to like your open units, and you can post pictures of those open units. You can post pictures of like you at the property just walking around. Like it can be very casual with stories and be like talking to the camera or just taking pictures of the property, or any events that you have, anything fun going on. Maybe pictures of like handing off keys to new tenants, like anything fun. It's gonna go away in 24 hours. So it's just a good way to like get it up without being like too permanent,
So you can take a little more risk whenever it's just a story.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then also I feel like you don't have to overproduce. So you don't need to plan as much whenever you're posting a story, right? Because it is a lot more casual, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah, a story can be just like in the moment type of thing, or maybe you'll, think about what you want to do in the future and be like, okay, when I go to the property tomorrow, I want to post 2 stories of this and this. Like it doesn't have to be this planned out thing, but it can be if you want it to be.
Awesome. All right, and then I'm guessing the demographic is a little bit different on Instagram and Facebook, even though they are owned by the same company.
Yeah.
And, a lot of stuff works the same way. But you're probably hitting different demographics.
Right. So basically what you're going to see on Instagram is going to be most likely like millennials and younger. And then Facebook is going to be, there are a good amount of millennials kind of moving over to Facebook, but it is going to be more of, what's the next generation? Gen X and up. That would be my parents' generation. I think it's Gen X. Yeah. So it's going to be Gen X and up, those older people. Not old, but older. But yeah.
Awesome. All right. And then what about for, if we go away from Facebook, we go away from Instagram for a minute.
Yeah.
What about YouTube? I know, that's one of the most popular places to post content.
Yeah.
There are like millions and billions of hours of videos on YouTube already.
Yeah.
Is that another place where you want to try to get some attention?
So I would say with YouTube, unless you're really trying to actually build a platform, you don't necessarily need to worry about getting subscribers and stuff, because to actually build a fan base on YouTube is a lot of work and commitment.
Right.
But YouTube is the #1 video uploading platform. So take advantage of that. And that's a great way to just upload tours of your open units. Like literally the apartment building that I live in right now, I love their apartments, went on the YouTube channel, and they had a tour of every single apartment that they have on there. And it made me like way more interested in getting an apartment here, because I saw every corner and it was like a walkthrough. You can just do a walkthrough with music, or you can be in it. You can show videos of the property, and then you can just link that on all your other social media and even on your listings on other sites. So YouTube's just a great place to like put those videos there.
That's great, because whenever I was looking for an apartment, when I just moved down, to Miami, where I'm at now, I would go to these different listing websites and look at units that I'm interested in. And the pictures would be very limited, It'll show like one corner, it'll show the sink, it'll show the outside of the house, but you really don't get a feel of like where you're actually going to be going and looking at. And then sometimes you get there and you're surprised, and it makes you want to take less risk. Nothing like the pictures, or in some cases it's way better. And I'm like, I'm so glad that I came and checked this out, because the pictures kind of sucked.
Yeah. I'd say like that's the #1 tip I could give for property managers or landlords that are on social media, is like take this opportunity to really show off the property. Because like me and you mentioned, like when we're looking for apartments, and we're a little bit on the younger generation as well, so maybe it's a little different, but I mean, I'm looking at their website, I'm looking at their Instagram, I'm looking at their Facebook, like any videos that are attached. Like I want to see what it actually looks like. I want a walkthrough of the apartment, and not just like, here's a picture of the community area and the kitchen. Like, I don't know what the apartment looks like. Do I want to live there? And then it gives like, is it worth living there? Why aren't they posting good pictures? So like, pictures are so important, and videos are even better. So take advantage of it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, because you want to see the whole space. You want to know if the layout works for you, and if you'll be able to fit the furniture that you have inside the unit. They're definitely very important.
Yeah, and especially with a lot more people working from home, people really want to see every nook and cranny of the apartment, because it's like, oh, where can I fit my desk? And I think that's honestly becoming a huge rise with like the work from home movement.
Wow.
People need a place to put their desk, and if they're not seeing pictures of the unit, they're like, is there even enough space in the bedroom, or do I need a 2-bedroom, or they need to know these things.
They'll go check out the other one that they were looking at and be like,
exactly.
Okay, I can actually see the space in this one.
Yeah, whoever has the video on YouTube that they can watch or whatever, like they're going to choose that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another platform or a social media site that's been in the news a lot with the whole Elon Musk thing, but Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you need to put any effort into Twitter whenever you're, trying to fill out vacancies for units?
I would say it's just another opportunity to get the word out there. Like I said, if you're using some sort of system where you can post on everything at once, it takes no extra effort. But it really only takes a few minutes to like type out a tweet with a link. And it's a great way to just like reach even more people. I wouldn't say it's top priority, but like why not take advantage of every platform that you can? So like you can easily type out, new listing and put a link, and there you go.
Right.
And that's so easily shareable too on Twitter.
So I feel like that would kind of be like LinkedIn as well, right? Just a little bit of text, and then you post a link to your unit that you look to rent out.
And LinkedIn is really, it's not as much used for like, here's an open unit. It is more of like connecting with other people who are in the business, so like other property managers, other landlords. LinkedIn is more of like a business platform than it is like a social media platform. It's where, business professionals connect with each other. And I think it's a really great opportunity to connect with other property managers, learn from them, and whatever you need to do on there, just connecting with others is really good to learn from each other.
Awesome. So that LinkedIn is a great place to network, to learn from other property managers or people in the industry.
Exactly.
But we're not putting any listings on there.
Yeah,
right?
We're not really doing listings on LinkedIn. Everyone's like trying to find work. They don't need to see a place to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, get this out of my way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So another thing that we should talk about, I think, is, what are the basics of posting online? We have things like the orientation, the size of the frame, whether it's a vertical video, horizontal.
Yeah.
The type of content that you're making, the tone of voice.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you start with all that? I know I threw a lot at you.
Yeah, it's okay.
We'll take it one step at a time.
It depends on what platform you're posting on, and it depends on your goals. So as far as like how you should actually be taking the pictures and filming, when you're on anything that's automatically vertical when you open it, such as Instagram stories, Instagram reels, any of the like short form content, those are always going to be vertical. And like, I feel like that's the biggest mistake I feel like older people or people who just don't know social media do, is not posting the right either vertical or horizontal for the correct platform. So when you open the platform and you hit the like record button, if it's vertical automatically, do vertical. If it's horizontal automatically, do horizontal. So if it's like a shorts, a reels, a Facebook reels, a TikTok, a story, those are all going to be vertical. If it's like a YouTube video or even like a picture just on Facebook, a picture on Facebook can go either way, and a picture on Instagram can kind of go either way too. But if it's a video on YouTube, please do it horizontal. You can see so much more, and YouTube was really made to be horizontal videos. If you're going to do vertical, just make it a short. So that's that. What was the other part of that question? Oh, the tone of voice. So with like your tone of voice and the way you're presenting yourself, it just depends. Do you want this to be like a super professional page, or do you want it to be more just like welcoming and casual and fun? Because you can kind of go either way, and sometimes it even depends on the platform. So for instance, things like Facebook and LinkedIn, you're going to want to be a little bit more on the professional side, definitely on LinkedIn, and Facebook is going to want to be pretty professional. Once you get to Instagram, it can kind of go either way. You can do even both. You can do a mix. But when it comes to things like TikTok or YouTube Shorts, even, like you can be a little bit more fun. That's more of the creative side of social media. And then a YouTube video, it really just depends on what the content is. If you're doing a tour of an apartment, you probably want to be a little bit more professional. But if you're showing like an event that happened, obviously you can be more fun. So it's hard to like actually give advice for this, because it's like it literally depends what you're posting and where you're posting it and who your demographic you want to reach is.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're using one of those sites or one of those services that actually posts all your content for you on the days that you want and all the different platforms,
yep,
you probably want to find like a good middle ground where you're not like, too much on either side.
Yeah, well, actually, with a lot of those platforms, you can choose. You can post the same exact video, picture, caption, everything. But on TikTok, you can, write a caption that's a little bit more fun. Whereas on Twitter, you can make it more serious. So, like, whatever you want to do. You don't have to post all of them at once. Okay. You can choose. Well, it be the same content. You can, like, change it up a little bit. But if you are making, let's say, a video that you're going to post on everything and you're not going to change the video at all, then maybe keep it more on the professional or find a middle ground. You really just want to find what's going to represent you and your brand the best, because this is all just really brand awareness. Yes, it's advertisements for your rental properties, but it's also brand awareness and building up your name and what that looks like. So just sticking to your brand is really, really important.
Wow. All right. And then besides that, what about quality over quantity? Because on social media, a lot of the pages that I follow, they're posting all the time, right?
Yeah.
And it can be hard to keep up with that, especially if you have a lot of other things going on.
Yeah.
And another thing is, if you're focused more on the quality, or you're trying to be a perfectionist, you'll think, okay, this is not good enough. Let me wait a few days. I need to work on this more before I can post it out there. So what's your advice for someone who's struggling with that?
Yeah. So kind of the general advice that everyone in the social media world right now is kind of giving is post as much as you can while keeping it good enough quality that people actually are interested. So it's like, if you can commit to posting once a day and still keeping it like good quality, then definitely do that. But if you're posting every day and it's like crashing the quality, then don't do that. So you want to stay consistent, but consistency is going to look different for each person. But then also, like you said, Bo, you don't want to be a perfectionist, because like no one is looking at it that long. Honestly, no one cares enough to like pick out every little part of a video or a picture. So you want it to look good and you want it to be quality, but it doesn't have to be perfect every single time.
Right, because otherwise you're just getting in your own way and you're not.
Yeah.
You're kind of stuck and you're not posting at all.
Yeah. Like obviously you want to avoid like general mistakes, grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, stuff like that. And like have it be high quality pictures of videos. But like if you stumble over your words a little bit and you're like, oh, I can't post it, like just post it. Like it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And then for like, the big thing right now is, AI. AI is helping us write content and put things out there and give us ideas and just simplify everything.
Mhm.
Are there any AI tools that someone can use who's trying to maybe post more or come up with ideas or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of generators. Like, if you literally just look up AI generator for social media, like, it'll come up with content ideas for you. It'll give you, like, titles of the content that you made. Like, okay, so the newest one, as me and you know about, is ChatGPT. And on there, you can literally do anything. Like, you can type in, come up with 10 Instagram story or Instagram Reels ideas for a property manager in Miami. And it'll come up with 10 ideas for you. And then you can say, like, write the intro script to it or whatever. Like, ChatGPT can pretty much do all of that for you. Just a little warning on ChatGPT is that the servers are, like, always overloaded. So you kind of have to get lucky to actually get on it. But even besides that one, if you even just look up, AI generator for social media ideas, YouTube video ideas, there's so many of them out there. And it's really kind of changing the game because you don't have to be as creative. Like, you still can make it creative once you get the idea, but you don't have to think of, like, the base idea.
Yeah, well, I heard of one called, I think it was Jasper. My friend was telling me about that. And you can, like, go on there and, type out what your video is about or what your post is about, and then it'll, like, spit out a bunch of different ideas for you.
I love that. Yeah.
It might be paid as well, though. But, I mean, if you're doing it all the time, I'm sure that would like, save you a whole bunch of time and effort.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a ton of tools out there that, it will cost you a little bit, but it'll help you, like, upgrading. Let's say you're using Metricool, you can, like, which is where you post on everything at once. You can upgrade those plans to, like, do even more things, but it just depends. Like, how much work and effort do you really want to put into social media? What are your goals with it? And, it might not be that you need to spend any money at all. And it might be you want to spend a little bit of money, it just depends.
All right. Awesome. So just to summarize everything for our audience, if you could say in 1 minute, for example, what should everyone do in the case of a property manager? What should they do if they want to start posting on social media and start, getting followers and filling vacant units?
Yeah. So I would definitely suggest that you start with Facebook. Facebook is going to be your best bet, using Facebook Marketplace and then finding a way to be able to post on everything at once. You can reuse your content. So a tool for that would be like Metricool. Also connecting your Facebook and Instagram so that you can post on those simultaneously. You also want to post consistently while also keeping the quality high, but obviously don't be a perfectionist. And honestly, at the end of the day, guys, just have fun with it. Like, it's social media. It's supposed to be fun. Yes, use it for your business. Join groups on Facebook, all of those kind of things. But also just have fun with it. Keep it casual, but still professional. You got to find that balance. But it's really meant to be a fun tool that you can use to not only grow your business, but to connect with your tenants and your viewers or your followers.
Wow. I wasn't timing you, but that was amazing. You really...
Did I hit it right on the minute?
Probably, yeah. We're going to have to go back and check later. Yeah, awesome. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You can have fun with it. Yeah. You want to enjoy doing it. Otherwise, it's going to feel like just like too much work.
Yes, don't get burned out.
You can have a little bit of your personality into it. You can get creative and just, put yourself into the work. All right? Like, it's not an exact science. I mean, it's a little art and science. No, like,
you want to show your personality. Yeah. And that's, like, the hard part about social media, I guess, is always finding the balance. The balance between, brand professionalism and having fun and showing your personality. There's always going to be balance with how much time to spend on it versus how much quality content. Like, there's all these things that are, like, things you have to balance, and it only comes with, like, consistent time on social media and, like, trying out what works for you. So I guess that's the advice I can give, is just try everything, see what works, see what doesn't, and just double down on what works.
Amazing. Let's see. Any final thoughts that you have here? Or, I mean, I know we covered a lot. So.
I mean, obviously, I would say get on social media as soon as you can if you're not already. And if you want tips and tricks, go follow DoorLoop on all our social media, DoorLoop app on Instagram and TikTok. And go listen to our other podcasts. We've got a lot of good information to help you guys.
Amazing. All right, Sydney, thank you so much. I feel like I learned a lot here, even though I'm in the social media space as well. I'm here making videos at DoorLoop, but honestly, some great insights here today, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening all the way to the end. Don't forget to give us a good rating on whatever platform you're tuning in from, and we'll be back soon with another new episode. We hope to see you there, and until next time, this has been Loop It In.